So a little while ago, we spoke about selling the car, my car. The guy that I sold it to pulled out.
The Ranger?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Pulled out. And I remember I was a bit annoyed. I'd held the car for him for about 5-6 weeks. He put $1,000 down and he's like, oh yeah, I just can't get finance, blah, blah, blah. He's like, sorry to stuff you around. And it's
So you still got $1,000?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, from that perspective. But I would have much preferred to gotten rid of the car. But, I was a bit annoyed, but then I was like, fuck it, whatever. The car will sell. The car will sell. Eventually it will sell. It's taken 6 months. Never has it taken me so long to sell a vehicle. And I look after my stuff. The cars speak for themselves. I reckon it's market conditions. I reckon people are just not buying cars. Yeah, economic stuff for sure. Okay. For sure. I really do think it's that. Anyway, that's not the point of my story. The point of the story was I was like, cool, whatever. Someone else is going to buy this car. The next day, and mind you, in this 6 month period, I've had no one inquire, very few inquiries, very, very few. This guy literally was the first to come see the car. And then he goes, yes, I want it. Then the next day, after he said, no, I'm not coming, I got an inquiry. Oh, cool. How good's that? So I got an inquiry, came and saw the car on the Sunday. He liked it. Didn't really call me back. I could when you can tell someone's going to buy the car and when they're not, or when they're going to do a deal with you, not so much buy a car. I could just tell in my gut that he wasn't going to buy anything.
He wasn't the guy?
Nah. So he did it. And I'm like, oh, well, another one gone. Be another 6 months before I sell it. The next day, get a phone call. Hey, I want to come check out the car. I said, cool. Guy's in Port Melbourne. Funny enough, where he works is the CFO at a company that I built a warehouse for him 6-7 years ago. So it's pretty funny that the connection was there. Anyway, he came in and bought the car. Bought it for more than what I originally sold it for as well, which is cool. So I picked up a little bit there. And that same day that he bought it, or the same day that he put his deposit, I got another phone call. Hey, I want to have a look at the car. So all of a sudden, it's like I manifested getting all these inquiries coming in because I just had that mindset of, oh, that's cool, man. I'm just going to get another, I'll sell it. This car is going to sell. It's not going to be with me forever. Eventually someone's going to buy this thing and I'm going to move it on. And even though that other person came in, he bought the car and now he was going to pick it up on Monday, Tuesday next week. But it started leading me, it made me aware that what my attitude was towards that problem or that annoyance, and then the fact that I was able to manifest and get that car sold. Do you believe in manifestation?
Oh, it's real as fuck.
Yeah?
Of course.
Think about it. It's kind of woo-woo, right? You're imagining something happening that you want, and then it happens. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I can really appreciate going, shut the fuck up. There's no such thing as that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, okay, cool. I won $1 million. And it doesn't.
Yeah, so, okay. You can't make $1 million without thinking about something that leads to that.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what the thought is.
Yeah.
That's what it's all, everything comes from your thoughts.
Yeah.
And that's the whole principle.
Yeah. And even that speaking to the subconscious mind and all that sort of stuff, like waking up in the morning, even saying today's going to be a great day. You don't know how good or bad the day's going to be. But if you wake up every single morning, today's a great day, today's a great day, today's a great day, you're probably going to have a great day.
You're probably more likely to have a great day.
More likely to have a great day. That's
100%.
correct. That's correct. So yeah, I was looking at that and then I was thinking, okay, I want to try this out and see where else I can do this in my life. Where else can I manifest other things to come into my life? And I've just been thinking about it a fair bit. We've had some recent conversations and on the podcast too, which is really cool. And outside of it. So I was listening back to one of our episodes and we're talking about how, we got to meet up every fortnight. And then pretty much after that session we now meet up every Monday.
Yeah.
Monday or Tuesday? Every Tuesday.
Well, we did Monday this week.
Yeah, we did Monday. That's off. But we're meeting up every Tuesday and it's such a good half hour, 45 minutes. It doesn't need to be
just a quick
6 hours. It's just a quick catch up. Hey, what are we going to do?
What's happening? What's happening?
We'll talk about the podcast. We'll talk about the events that are coming up later in the year. We talk about other business ventures that we got going on. We've just employed a sales team.
Dude, how long ago does that feel like? I've had the biggest 4 days.
I know.
Me too. That was 4 days ago. I've had and that feels like, I feel like I spoke to you 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been doing 75 hard for 9 months. The last 3 weeks, man, just feels like the longest period of time.
I heard this other theory as well where and it was on a podcast I was listening to actually. Chris Willis. I don't know.
Chris Wills.
Wills, sorry, yeah.
Modern Wisdom.
Yeah, Modern Wisdom. I don't know who he was interviewing. I can't remember, but he was saying, if you want more money, give more money away. If you want more love, give more love away. If you want more happiness, give more happiness away. What you're going to give out is what you're going to attract as well. So I do believe that that's true as well. I look at other times in my life where I've done things like that, where I've been generous in other areas, and then I've received generosity or abundance in a certain area. Do you know what I mean? And going on with the flow with that. So the car I just sold has got less than a quarter of a tank in it.
So is it gone?
No, he's picking up on Monday.
Oh, so the car's sold?
Yeah, it's like I've sold it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you said you haven't sold it yet.
No, the guy that originally bought it pulled out, and now I've sold it to the next people that came through.
Yeah.
And I was saying, because it went...
Sick.
Yeah, fantastic. But I was saying, like, no one has called up for this car for 6 months, and then all of a sudden in the space, since this guy has said, I'm not buying it, I've had 4 people want to buy the car. And... so I felt that because I put that energy out there, that mindset, that manifestation out there, that it happened. Anyway, going back to what we were just saying with you want more things, you give more things.
Yeah.
So the car now has a quarter of a tank, less than a quarter of a tank. It's due for a fill up. I'm going to give him the car with a full tank of petrol.
Why?
Right? Because it's like, why wouldn't I? Why not? What a just a nice gesture. Imagine you've just bought a second-hand car. Okay, here you go, mate. By the way, filled it up for you.
Yeah, I think it's a very nice gesture.
But aside,
I'll get a hose and sit there.
but aside from the fact that I don't have to do it and it's just nice, it's like that's a way for me to say, well, there's plenty of fuel. I can go get more. All right, there's plenty. It's going to cost me $150 to fill the tank up. I'm giving money away. That's cool. Have it. I'll go get more money.
Abundance.
Yeah. And there's another book. I can't remember what it's called. Thank You Money, I think it's called, something like that. It's a Japanese author, and he pretty much it's
Thank
like
You Money.
Yeah, it's something like that. I'll find it. I can't remember where it was. I think I've actually got it written down. And it's pretty much he speaks to money, and he'll always say, like, whenever money comes in, whenever he spends money, he was like, oh, thank you for being with me, or thanks for returning. Like, so every time he gets paid, hey, thanks for coming in. I'm glad to have you here. And then every time it goes out, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for helping me. So it'll go out. So it's that whole mindset around connecting a positive emotion and impact to a certain thing that you can receive it in abundance as well.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to touch on is like the whole how much your unconscious or subconscious or whatever you want to call it is controlling your life.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really fascinating topic. I've done a little bit of study on it. You've done a lot more, and I'm about to do another level of it in June, just with regards to NLP.
Yeah.
Which is a lot around subconscious mind and
100%.
framing and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to do that next month, which is I'm looking forward to. It's just fascinating how you can affect yourself and also others.
Yeah, and how much like your environment.
Yeah.
What's around you, who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Impact. Whether you think it does or doesn't, it does.
Yeah.
It does, dude. You're not in 100% consciousness all the time. You don't sit there and think everything through. For you to think everything through consciously right now, if you're driving, or you're sitting there listening to this, or you're watching this on YouTube, for you to consciously think everything through, you need to stop and say, okay, cool, where are my hands on the steering wheel? What foot is my pedal on? What pedal's my foot on? Do you know what I mean? And think every single, what's in my pockets? Yeah. What's happening? Where's my seatbelt? Is there a fold in the seatbelt? Where am I? What road am I on? What car am I driving? How many Ks on the car? You need to consciously take every single bit of information in.
Yeah.
And you just can't do that. It's impossible.
No, that's 100%.
Do you know what I mean? And that's why your unconscious mind is powerful, because it consumes all the stuff and that you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
And filters all the information, and then you make decisions based on that.
Well, I think I said it in a previous episode, but it's like now I just had a sip of water for those of you watching at home. I just had a sip of water. My mind has already decided how I'm going to pick up that glass. You know what I mean? It's picking it up in a certain way. It's made that decision before I've even gone to have a sip of water. It's held it in a certain way. It's used these amount of fingers. It's done everything in a certain way. For me to have to think about that, you wouldn't be able to function if you had to think like that.
Yeah, if you had to think about everything,
Yeah.
like, hold on, how do I grab this glass?
Yeah.
You know, do I grab it with this hand or do I grab it with that hand? Do I hold it from the top or bottom?
Yeah.
Do I pull it straight to my mouth? Do I bend my elbow?
Yeah.
Or do I bend my wrist? Or do I lift my shoulder?
Mm.
Like, you literally could not function.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine you could do that on another level. You can program your subconscious mind as we're saying before, I'm having a great day. I'm having a great day. I'm having a great day. So then soon you will already be in a positive mindset and a positive state before you've even begun your day. Now, yes, shit might come up, but it's not necessarily going to impact you in a negative way.
So how do you do that?
I think you've got to practice it. Do you know what I mean? The conscious mind would have to speak to the unconscious mind.
What do you do anything?
I mean, other than practicing gratitude, I think that's probably the main thing I would do. I don't do affirmations. Do you do that? Where you stand in front of a mirror. I own multiple 7-figure businesses, 8-figure businesses. I have my own holiday home in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
You know, and talking to yourself like that, repeating it. And
Tony Robbins teaches this thing where he calls it incantations. So what it is basically affirmations, but you get your whole physiology to it. Because he's like, if you just sit there and say, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, your mind says bullshit.
yeah,
He goes, but if you get up and you physically, like, I'm happy, look at me, man, I'm happy. Like, and you physically do the movements of a happy person, jump up and down with joy, whatever it is, that your body starts to, like, we must be happy if we're jumping up and down. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, hard to argue with that, as opposed to, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, bullshit. You know? And he says that works, supposedly, that works better than just saying it.
yeah. I can believe that, especially when I've never been to one of his events, but I've seen recordings of his events.
Sick.
Yeah? You've been?
I've actually done all his stuff virtually. I've never been to.
No shit.
Yeah, man.
So you were going to go in Sydney last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't end up going.
And you didn't end up going.
Yeah,
That's surprising.
I've done it all, and I've moved. Dude, he like, anyone that ever wants to go, highly recommend. Even though I haven't been, just the learnings that I got from the experiences were amazing. And I feel like they were amazing at that time, and now I'm much further along.
Yeah. Because I see a lot of the people that go to those types of events almost searching for that level of happiness, do you know what I mean? Or that level of impact or change in their life.
Yeah.
Then that's why they buy into it so much. I'm not talking from a monetary point. I'm talking just buy into everything he's saying and everything he's doing. Because you look at the crowds and he'll have 5, 6, 7,000, 10,000 people in a room jumping.
Oh, dude,
crying, hugging,
like
fucking on the floor, and I look at that, hysterics, and I look at that and I'm like, it's almost to a level of cult leadership, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It is.
That's right. That's that underground influence. And I mean, I personally haven't ever been able to get into any of his trainings or any of his courses. I've heard a few of his podcasts. I haven't read any of his books. I think he's a wildly smart man. I enjoy listening to him. Yeah, I enjoy listening to him talk. But yeah, I haven't had that motivation to go and deep dive into his trainings. Not to say that they're no good. I just haven't had it myself.
So I read a book first. I knew who he was. Like, I'd seen videos and stuff and whatever, and I'd always seen the events, man. Like, I'd always seen them on late night. I remember watching as a kid. I remember them being on infomercials. I used to stay up as a kid.
How funny.
Yeah, and I remember seeing them on infomercials. I used to think, in Australia as well. Yeah.
Far out.
He didn't come to Australia for 8
No, but the info, like him on an infomercial, I don't ever remember that.
Oh, ever?
Never.
Do you recall? Does that ring a bell?
Mongolia, though.
Yeah, he's never been here.
It's been here.
So I forgot you've only been here for 3 weeks. I was going to ask you an old question about Australian TV, but
you don't know.
Just I remember watching him on as a kid and thinking, like, how weird, guy on stage, people jumping up and down. It looks like a party.
Yeah. I just saw it I was like, these people have lost their mind. You know, that's how I was looking at it.
Yeah, it's full on.
Like I watched one of his Netflix specials, years ago. And then, I don't know, you've probably seen it, but there was a guy there, and he's like pretty much, he'll stand up and says, I think he wanted to commit suicide. And then Tony talked to him about that. And then there was another chick that stood up, and he made her break up with her husband right there and there in front of everyone.
I've seen him do the suicide thing.
Yeah, right.
I've seen it live.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it is one of the most unbelievable. He is so wickedly smart. And I've also heard other people say that no one should do that because, yes, he's good now, but he wasn't good when he started, etc. And obviously he got good through experience.
Yeah, so that's with everything and everyone, though.
Yeah, but like that in the sense of
telling me a therapist is better than day one than what they are day 8,000.
In the sense of it's a dangerous, like you know what I mean?
It could go the other way.
It could go the other way.
Yeah.
I also think.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. Or if you want to watch the full episode, you can click over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and thank